Hi, it's Laura from the Peak Radio Breakfast Show, and it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week. I've got Kirsty in the studio with me. Now, Kirsty is a secondary school teacher. She's also a mum of two, and she's very passionate about mental health awareness. So thank you for coming in and talking to me today.
Problem. Thank you for having me.
Why are you so passionate about mental health?
I think a lot of it stems from the job. The fact that I've got two kids, the fact that I've struggled with it myself. I just think it's so important that people are aware of what it is, how to help themselves, how to help others. So this kind of thing, Mental Health Awareness Week, is really important to me.
So I'd like to talk to you about how you think lockdown has affected children, especially, interestingly, the children that you teach, the secondary school age. I mean, I know it's quite broad, from like 12 up to 16, 18,
or 18,
yeah.
depending on what school.
So from your judgment, from what you can see in your experience, how do you think it's going to change? Has it changed the children? How have they coped?
Yeah, it has. It's changed them. I think that's a thing for everybody. It's not just kids. It's going to have changed everybody. You've been isolated from everybody you know and everybody you would just hang out with normally. And suddenly you go back to school, you're in bubbles, so you can't speak to other year groups or your siblings that are in other years while you're during the school day. You're learning behind a mask, your teacher's behind a mask. Just everything's quite frightening, really, when you're in school. And then when you're not in school, you're being told not to hang out with too many of your friends, not to do all the things that you enjoy as a child, and that I know if I was a child, I would be missing out on that massively. And how do you do that?
And homeschooling. I mean, not only for the children was that difficult, but it was really difficult for the parents and carers as well.
Parent and teacher side
I can imagine. I mean, wow, it was tough. So what advice, if there are some parents listening of children that have gone back to school and they think they're maybe struggling a bit, what advice would you, being a teacher, what advice would you give?
I mean, speak to the school if it's something that the school can help with. Most schools have incredible teams behind the scenes that do excellent counselling work, mentoring work, can provide buddy systems if there's concerns about not having the social skills anymore because it's been so long since they've been able to develop them. Again, that's something that schools can help with. There's so many resources online to help with these things as well, documentaries to watch. Homeschooling has been horrendous for everybody, I think. But that has also provided, I think, a bit of a link between parents and children that maybe wouldn't have been there as well. So hopefully parents know more about their kids from having the extra time with them. So they recognise signs of problems coming up, maybe more so than teachers who haven't seen them in several months.
Yes.
So they need to share what they know or what they think with people who can help. GPs even.
Yeah.
Like, go and see someone.
Yeah.
There's so much help available for younger people, especially. We have CAMS and all sorts in schools that are brilliant.
And CAMS is...
That's like a mental health, and it helps with a lot of people who go through grief and things like that. And obviously with the coronavirus, a lot of kids have gone through grief and other aspects of it. So support systems like that work with the school are invaluable at the moment.
And I think also maybe like being honest with the children and say, do you know, it was really tough and you had to kind of be on a computer, or you're told don't be in front of a screen all day, then suddenly it was like, no, be on a screen all day. You have to learn now. So I think it's good for parents and carers to kind of talk to children and go, I found it really tough too, and kind of open up the conversation.
Absolutely. I mean, my kids are much younger, but I've had that conversation with my eldest, the 5-year-old, and he had to do a lot of online learning. So does mummy needs to teach online now, so let's do it together. We'll sit next to each other, or you can see what I'm doing, I'll see what you're doing. Isn't it nice that we get to do it together? But it's hard, isn't it, not seeing your friends? But we can do a video call with them later. And it is hard for everyone, but you just have to see where they're struggling and just try and tackle it in the best way, whether it's talking to a school, a GP, or just the child themselves.
So if there was a perfect world and moving forward, what more would you like to see? Seeing as it's Mental Health Awareness Week, is it people talking about it more and being honest? Is it that you think there should be more help through the doctors? What would you like? What are you working towards?
I would love to see people being more honest on social
Okay.
media, and the media tackling mental health in a different way.
Yeah.
You know, stop using words like crazy and mental and psycho and think that's not helpful. That's not
Yeah.
helpful for anyone. If someone's suffering, if someone has an episode, don't label them crazy.
Yeah.
It's not helpful, because that then feeds down and other people start using that terminology,
Yeah.
which then creates the stigma again. And that's what we need to get rid of, the stigma. One of the ways I think that could be achieved is in schools.
Yeah.
I think mental health should be taught as an explicit subject alongside things like PE. Why do we look after our physical health but not our mental health?
And do you think that's achievable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think it's achievable. I think if the funding and everything and the training was there,
Yeah.
I definitely think it's something we could do. We already touch on mental health in PSHE when we do that in schools, but not enough. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do more.
Yeah, absolutely. Kirsty, thank you so much for coming in and talking to me today. It's been an
Thank you.
absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you very much.